Hi, so I wanted to show you a little more in depth about my how I stitch. So just to, I will stitch something for you, but just to show you some of the different types of stitching. So my signature sew weave earrings that are stitched, two pieces. So for these, I actually have a pattern, and here's sort of the simple pattern, A, B side, and then here, and it shows me where to start, and then it shows me what direction to go in. And same here, start here and end here. So I'm going to end here because it's up by the earring and I can hide the end more easily there. So this is a more complicated stitch, and this has a pattern. Going to, and then that's just to show you the earring before it's stitched, and you can see the holes. And then to go to another stitch, this one does not have a pattern, and you can see here it is stitched. I generally know what I want to do, and here it is unstitched. And here's my wire, and my wire is fine silver wire, and I will stitch depending. This is a thicker wire I'm going to use here. This is my thinnest wire, and then there's another wire which is even thicker that I'll stitch with. So just to show you before and after. And that's my fine silver. I also have some pieces here that you can see that I'll stitch with 22 karat gold. These are raw and unfinished because I will stitch with gold before it's completely finished. So that way the gold will get polished as well. And I do have a set pattern for these pieces. So then moving over here, I just wanted to show you before I stitch one more. So this is my simplest piece, and this is a small little piece that I stitch. And still just as important that the stitch of fine silver is just tight, so that when I press down it won't bend. I mean, of course, if you press really hard it will, and it won't lose its straight line, but not too tight because then it'll break. So, and you can see I have my little pieces all cut, and I ball the end, and then you can see I finish it off as well. And I'll show you that more closely. So now I'm going to take this piece here. This is an earring, and when I start this, I have my piece, and here I've created a pattern so that the holes are all in the same part. So I will lay this over my pattern, and then I will bring it to my drill, and I'll drill out the holes as you see here. And then once the holes are drilled, here they are, and these have different sizes because this ear is this is where it's gonna hang from on this ear wire. So now I'm going to stitch it, and I'm going to take some wire that I have oxidized already, and I'm going to do it on the gold so you can see it more easily. And I have here just a known pattern. There's 3 stitches in this earring. So I'm going to start, and I've balled up the end so it's going to stop there, and that allows me to tug at it. And now I am going to feed it in, and I'm trying to feed it in easily because I don't want to scrape off the black. And I'm going to take my pliers, and I have, I mean, you can see they're very different. They probably all look the same, the tips, but they're a little bit different each. So here I'm going to take this, and I'm going to pull it until I get a stretch. And right now I felt it stretch, and I'm going to now push this in, and I have it nice and tight. I can't push it down. So now I'm going to go to the back and sew this through, and I want to be careful not to scrape my wire, and then I don't want that little loop showing, so I'm going to pull it through. Make sure that's tight and straight. And now I'm going to put it into the next hole, the middle. And there we go. So now the wire, I'm working it more, so it's going to be more easy to break. And I was stitching these the other day and I broke 2 attempts before I got it. And now that's nice and tight, but I just want this to go in a little straighter. So I'll pull, and I'm holding it with my finger while I turn it around so it doesn't pop out. And now I'm going to go back in the other side. And it kind of feels a little like it's scraping. So I'm pushing it in. It got stuck. It's still stuck. So I got to see why it's stuck. Pull it there. And now I'm going to pull this little piece so that it's straight. And we've got a kink. There we go. And now my last stitch, and let's hope I don't break it on here. Because if I break it, I will start all over again with a new piece of wire. I think that can be tighter. You can see there's like a little bend in there, and I want nice crisp lines. So now here I pulled that, and okay, so now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm holding it with my finger, and I'm going to cut it. And then I take what I call the sparkly pliers, and I'm going to get a nice round loop in here. That's tight. Oh, I cut it to just the right length. So there it is. And now I'm going to push it down and clip it so that that inside is not going to pull on your hair or anything. And I'm going to, oops, feel it. It feels good, but I'm going to take it and kind of rub it a little. And then, last step is put it on this ear wire. And there is my earring. And that is just a little showing you how I stitch.